The moment has arrived. We've just experienced the most magnificent full moon of 2025, and with it, the gateway has been flung open. This final supermoon has emerged, standing as the most formidable one yet. Most individuals remain unaware of the profound experience they've just undergone. Those who feel its impact most deeply are the ones who weren't striving to control it. They simply understood. And that's likely you, because what follows isn't subtle or questionable. It's unmistakable, and you're already immersed in it. You and those around you are already under its influence. This transformation didn't gradually unfold. It descended swiftly. Even those disconnected from spiritual matters felt its presence. The collective consciousness shifted, regardless of individual recognition. You'll observe it through unexpected emotional shifts, courageous choices, people behaving unusually, and questioning long-accepted norms. This isn't disorder, it's awakening. When such energy permeates the world, consciousness becomes infectious, even for those who never sought it. Here's the fascinating part. While everyone experiences it, not everyone comprehends it. Most will simply feel different without understanding why. However, for those who've been traversing this spiritual journey for years, those who didn't just recently awaken but remained conscious through every phase, this impact resonates differently. And you're about to understand why. For long-term spiritual practitioners, this moment carries special significance. This supermoon isn't merely powerful. It bears accumulated energy, like compound interest on every silent choice you made in solitude. Every instance you chose personal growth over quick fixes. Every time you persevered without recognition. Every moment you maintained higher standards, despite feeling isolated, unseen, or treated unfairly. There's a unique spiritual wariness that only seasoned practitioners understand. Not exhaustion, but rather the sensation of, I've transformed and reconstructed myself countless times. What remains to polish? That's precisely what this moon addresses. It's not about motivating newcomers, it's acknowledging the veterans. This energy speaks to seasoned souls, those who didn't merely embrace spirituality when convenient. You lived these principles even when life challenged your core beliefs. You remained true to your values without seeking approval. You weren't waiting for validation. You were quietly, internally, persistently building your foundation. And this moon recognizes that dedication. It acknowledges the work you performed in solitude. It sees your self-control when reacting impulsively would have been simpler. Spiritual strength isn't developed during times of harmony. It's forged when life seems unjust, yet you still choose growth. But don't interpret this energy as exclusive. Those awakening now aren't behind schedule. They're stepping into this energy precisely as it crests. However, for those who've weathered the storms, who maintained their stance when everything threatened to collapse, who held firm when the foundations shook, they're receiving a distinctly different caliber of return. This isn't about hierarchy or levels. It's about the universe honoring energetic fidelity. If you've maintained consistency, intention, and discipline in your inner landscape, this moon amplifies those qualities, not through mystical promises, but through tangible shifts in momentum, presence, and crystalline clarity. You weren't ahead of the curve, you were in perfect alignment. And alignment, without fail, yields its rewards in due time. This isn't another test of your resolve. This is the universe acknowledging, I witnessed your journey, even in your most solitary moments. You're not early anymore. You've arrived precisely when you should. This final supermoon of the year carries a unique signature. It doesn't communicate in whispers or subtle hints. It doesn't gently nudge. Instead, it reverberates against your inner walls with an intensity you can feel in your bones. This moon's purpose isn't inspiration, it's illumination. It consolidates everything 2025 attempted to reveal. The wisdom gained, the conclusions reached, the fresh starts, the near misses, the decisions avoided, the instincts dismissed, the inner knowing you questioned. It brings everything into sharp, undeniable focus. This isn't about emotional catharsis. It's about spiritual transparency. The truths you've avoided this year now demand attention. The foundations you've quietly established are now amplified. The reality you've been hesitant to embrace is thrust into your present moment, the universe refusing to let you postpone your destiny any longer. Universal lessons don't repeat. They intensify until acknowledgement becomes inevitable. Consider it cosmic clarity rather than chaos, direct truth rather than emotional turbulence, spiritual reality that's done with subtle messaging. The Beaver Moon designation isn't merely about wildlife or ancient stories. It represents that pivotal moment when instinct takes command, that primal recognition that declares, the time for drifting has passed. Now we build. This isn't about forced productivity or exhausting yourself through relentless work. It's not about embracing that performative hustle culture that social media glorifies. This energy manifests as a deeper, more authentic alignment. It's that moment of serene, grounded certainty when you recognize it's time to shape your existence with purposeful intention rather than external pressure. This moon awakens your inner architect, the aspect of you that doesn't chase after dreams but methodically constructs them. It organizes, it prepares, it builds with purpose. It crystallizes what's essential and releases what no longer serves the path you're forging ahead. You might experience a subtle yet compelling urge to organize spaces, repair what's broken, strategize future moves, or bring structure to your environment. This isn't triggered by dysfunction, but rather by your inner compass finally declaring, the moment has arrived. That deep-seated impulse to organize your world, strengthen your practices, and stop delaying your calling. That's the Beaver Moon's energy coursing through your consciousness. And this transformation isn't chaotic. It's considered. It's calculated. It's that pivotal moment when you transition from being life's passenger to becoming its architect. You'll find yourself evaluating the distribution of your energy, the recipients of your focus, and the worthiness of your commitments. You might discover that perpetual motion was never the intention. Coherence was. This lunar phase ignites purposeful action without the disruption of disorder. It emphasizes bedrock principles, not temporary spectacles. While many discuss omens and divine timing, this moon transcends passive observation. It's about embodying the change through steady, earth-bound actions. You'll experience an intensified desire to fortify your daily practices, strengthen your economic foundation, prioritize your well-being, reinforce your limits, and enhance your physical environment. You'll gravitate toward creating sustainable systems rather than chasing fleeting experiences. You'll see through temporary solutions and naturally align with what demands dedication, not because it's challenging, but because it resonates with truth. Spiritual evolution isn't about escaping reality. It's about crafting an existence you don't need to flee from. This moon elevates those who honor their journey, not through ego, but through unwavering commitment to their evolution. If recent times left you feeling dispersed or directionless, anticipate a sudden clarity where priorities sharpen and distractions naturally recede. This is the constructor's frequency, the mindset of a life designer. It marks the moment you stop anticipating your evolution and begin actively crafting it, one deliberate step at a time. The beauty lies in its unhurried nature. You'll feel grounded, knowing each action creates lasting impact beyond immediate perception. This evening isn't about emotional turbulence. It's about identity emerging from obscurity. This supermoon confronts you not with future possibilities, but with your current patterns. The version that moves automatically, responds unconsciously, decides from conditioning rather than awareness. Many remain unaware of their automated existence until illumination reveals it. This moon provides that revelation. You might catch yourself observing patterns mid-thought, mid-response, mid-decision, as if watching your behavioral patterns from outside yourself, not with criticism, but with understanding. You might suddenly comprehend your hesitation in certain contexts, your avoidance of specific dialogues, or your acceptance of situations you've internally surpassed. It's not dramatic. It's precise, methodical, quiet, unabashedly revealing. This isn't about emotional triggers. It's about recognizing the underlying patterns that have been steering your course during moments of unconsciousness. You might become aware of subtle, ingrained behaviors, the instinctive ways you approach possibilities, the mechanisms you employ to shield your self-image, the methods through which you postpone your own growth. And remarkably, for the first time, instead of self-criticism, you simply observe. You distinguish between the self that endured and the self destined to guide. This newfound awareness brings no pain. It merely eliminates space for pretense. This lunar phase doesn't demand conflict with your former self. It gently illuminates where your automatic responses have become obsolete, and once illuminated, their influence diminishes. Suddenly, reaction transforms into conscious choice. Patterns become opportunities for intervention. The default identity becomes canvas for intentional modification. Some individuals may experience discomfort tonight, not from breakdown, but from awakening to behaviors they believe they'd moved beyond. Ancient tendencies may resurface, not as punishment, but as opportunities for conscious graduation. Growth doesn't come from escaping your former self. It emerges from making superior choices in present moments. This represents identity evolution in action, and when you clearly perceive that default version, you discover something transformative. The habitual responses that once controlled you no longer hold dominion. They're merely lingering echoes of a completed chapter. Life occasionally presents moments where individuals reappear, suggesting timing, sentiment, or chance. However, this moment differs. When this supermoon manifests, it reactivates connections you thought severed, not for revisiting old narratives, but because certain pages remained unexplored, teachings incomplete, energies unresolved. If someone unexpectedly initiates contact, emerges in your consciousness, or crosses your path anew, pay attention. There's significance behind it. Universal forces don't orchestrate random reunions. This isn't about reviving former relationships or reopening sealed wounds. It concerns completing soul-level business. It might manifest as an unexpected apology, someone attempting re-entry into your life, or even former connections appearing in dreams or thoughts without provocation. The energy feels different, not driven by dramatic nostalgia, but by quiet completion. You might experience complete detachment upon reconnection, or feel the weight of long overdue acknowledgement. Either way, it's not emotional regression. It's spiritual reconciliation. This moon activates dormant soul contracts like overdue cosmic obligations, suddenly requiring settlement. Some individuals return to repay energy investments from your past. Others appear to reinforce final boundaries. Some emerge purely for closure. Not verbal resolution, but energetic completion. Whether you choose to engage in dialogue, accept apologies, or maintain distance becomes irrelevant. The essence lies in the authentic resonance that occurs when you encounter that alignment from your evolved consciousness rather than your wounded past. Not every return is meant for permanence. Some reappearances serve solely to facilitate your final release from lingering attachments. And here's the subtle truth many overlook. Occasionally, you become the unexpected catalyst in another's journey, unknowingly serving as their transformative moment. You might embody the mirror they need to confront their former selves. You could represent the face of their karmic completion or moment of reckoning. Soul agreements aren't limited to romantic entanglements, traumatic encounters, or emotional intensity. They often manifest in quiet profundity, appearing as simple messages, meaningful coincidences, or unexpected memories of long-forgotten connections. You're not experiencing regression. You're clearing pathways for future progression. The universe doesn't resurrect unresolved matters to cause distress. Rather, it presents them because you've developed the necessary resilience, emotional maturity, and perspicacity to process that energy without absorbing its weight. This is where authenticity becomes paramount. Not ethereal, not mystical, not superficially spiritual. Real. This final supermoon doesn't support spiritual theatrics, inflated enlightened personas, or the superficial positivity that often masks genuine self-reflection. If there's one element this lunar energy absolutely refuses to tolerate, it's spiritual bypassing disguised as enlightenment. For many, this energy manifests as a profound reality check. Not because the universe is severe, but because truth has finally superseded justification. There exists a fundamental distinction between genuine peace and discomfort avoidance, between authentic compassion and boundary dissolution, between true awakening and responsibility evasion through spiritual romanticism. This moon illuminates these distinctions with stark clarity. Those who've convinced themselves of healing while avoiding challenging dialogues, decisions, or revelations will feel this energy intensely. Those claiming intuitive insight while dwelling in denial will experience its impact. Those professing complete transcendence yet still affected by specific memories will confront this truth. This lunar phase reveals where spiritual evolution is authentic and where it's merely superficial. Elevation doesn't come from transcending your humanity. It emerges from honest acknowledgement of your ongoing human experience. Here lies the transformative power. This isn't punishment but liberation. Illusion carries tremendous weight, and maintaining the facade of advanced spiritual progress becomes an exhausting spiritual masquerade. When truth emerges, its purpose isn't to break but to release. It creates space for authentic growth, genuine alignment, and true self-respect. This moon doesn't strip away illusions to cause embarrassment. It removes them to reveal your inherent strength. Lightness doesn't come from truth avoidance. You discover lightness by confronting truth directly, recognizing its diminished power over you. Those who flourish in this energy aren't those claiming enlightenment. Instead, they're the individuals who openly acknowledge, "I'm still on my journey." This acknowledgement represents strength, not inadequacy. Humility isn't a sign of weakness, but rather a gateway to transformation. This supermoon rewards genuine growth, not ego gratification. So when confronting moments arise, resist panic. Instead, remain observant. The clarity emerging isn't about closure. It's permission to embrace a more authentic, empowered, and centered version of yourself. This transformation won't stem from societal expectations, but from your genuine essence. Life presents moments when transformation occurs so subtly that initial awareness eludes you, until suddenly you realize you've outgrown spaces you once endured. This supermoon has triggered precisely such an internal shift, not with drama or chaos, but through a profound inner realization that your former self has undergone irreversible evolution. If your current perspective feels altered, your perception of others, your environmental responses, your internal dialogue, trust this awareness. This lunar phase has dissolved your capacity for pretense. You might notice yourself attempting to resume old patterns or revive familiar relationships, only to encounter an inexplicable emptiness, as if the vital energy has dissipated. Previously tolerated situations now feel unbearable. Relationships you once rationalized now feel energetically burdensome. This isn't about lost connections. It's about frequency elevation. Understanding this distinction matters. Sometimes this manifests as uncertainty or melancholy, not from missing your past life, but from recognizing the impossibility of reverting to a self focused on survival rather than thriving. Many mistake this sensation for loss or reminiscence. However, it's actually clarity, recognizing that perceived comfort was actually disguised stagnation. That familiar comfort was convenience masquerading as dedication. Upon experiencing this shift, a significant realization emerges. Your stagnation wasn't due to uncertainty about moving forward. Rather, it stemmed from reluctance to disappoint the version of yourself who struggled to maintain stability. Growth doesn't always evoke excitement. Sometimes it manifests as mourning for a life you've evolved beyond. Consequently, some may experience inexplicable sadness. not because of external circumstances, but because this moon has gently severed energetic ties to a life misaligned with your current identity. The emotional heaviness isn't emptiness. It's the manifestation of clearing space. And that sense of disconnection isn't loss. It's liberation still integrating within your nervous system. Attempting to retrace your steps now would be like trying to re-inhabit a space you've consciously departed. Yes, the entrance remains accessible. Yet upon crossing that threshold, the dissonance becomes palpable. The joy feels hollow, conversations lack their former resonance, and familiar routines no longer provide their past comfort. This isn't because life has deteriorated. It's because your awareness has sharpened. Once you've crossed certain thresholds of consciousness, forward motion becomes the only path that truly resonates. Your discomfort isn't rooted in being lost. It stems from your expanded consciousness refusing to contract. This lunar phase whispers, release the pretense. Abandon the almost there. Stop retreating to mastered territories merely for their familiarity. The previous chapter isn't damaged or incomplete. It's fulfilled its purpose. Your energy now only harmonizes with authentic alignment, making anything less feel like emptiness where vitality once existed. The most subtle challenge of spiritual evolution is that moment just before everything aligns, when it feels as though you've lost your rhythm. You might observe others and conclude you're progressing too slowly, or that life's unfolding bypasses only you. This supermoon hasn't disrupted your path. It's refined it. Rather than hindering you, it's prevented investment in a future that wasn't authentically yours. Experiencing confusion, exhaustion, lack of motivation, or uncertainty isn't failure. It's recalibration. Life's pauses rarely serve as punishment. Most transformative breakthroughs initially resemble breakdowns, if judged prematurely. This lunar phase didn't arrive to accelerate an incorrect path, but to pause you long enough to recognize the right one. While some believe alignment manifests as immediate clarity and confidence, it often feels like standing still while reality reorganizes around you. You're not experiencing delay. You're being redirected from years of pursuing misaligned goals. If you're feeling displaced or uncertain now, remember this. Universal alignment follows its own timeline. During recalibration, the focus isn't on speed, but on release. You detach from inauthentic timelines, lose interest in ego-driven pursuits rather than purpose-aligned ones, and shift from craving validation to seeking resonance. Initially, this process might feel isolating, quiet, and disorienting. That's because you're transitioning from pursuit to receptivity, from force to flow, from seeking to recognizing. Remember, you haven't fallen behind. You're not missing opportunities. You're not off schedule. You're experiencing that uncomfortable yet sacred interval where your previous trajectory dissolves and your authentic path begins to materialize. Life isn't demanding haste. It's inviting trust. Sometimes the universe decelerates your journey, not to impede progress, but because your forthcoming chapter deserves a version of you that isn't hastily fleeing from your past. This supermoon's intensity wasn't meant to shatter you, but to realign your essence, anchoring you firmly on a path that genuinely reflects your spirit, embodies your core values, honors your emotional maturity, and embraces your authentic truth. You haven't lost momentum. You've discovered your true direction. And rest assured, once this energetic shift settles, forward movement will resume with a quality that feels divinely guided, universally supported, and unmistakably aligned with your essence. You're not lagging behind. You're precisely where your soul's timeline has chosen you to be, and now it's revealing itself with crystal clarity. There's a distinctive mental frequency that accompanies a moon of this magnitude. It's neither chaos nor anxiety, but rather a concentrated pressure. Your mind isn't merely processing thoughts. It's undergoing a complete reorganization. If your thoughts currently feel intensified, accelerated, multidimensional, or unpredictable, recognize this isn't instability manifesting. It's the movement occurring beneath your conscious awareness. As outdated patterns dissolve, space opens for new perspectives to emerge. You're not losing mental clarity. You're accessing a deeper level of consciousness that your previous self couldn't contain. While full moons are often associated with emotional fluctuations, this particular one introduces something more profound: mental plate tectonics. Previously unshakable certainties now invite questioning. Once impossible scenarios suddenly feel destined. You might experience surges of inspiration followed by periods of stillness or uncertainty. This isn't regression. It's crossing a threshold where your subconscious can no longer silently harbor what's misaligned. Mental turbulence often signals not overwhelm, but breakthrough, the shattering of an outgrown identity's constraints. This discomfort isn't failure or setback. It's the pressure of expansion at work. Confusion doesn't indicate misdirection. It's the sound of old limitations dissolving. Raw, urgent, revealing thoughts may surface unexpectedly. Long dormant memories might resurface, not as haunting reminders, but as opportunities for reinterpretation through your evolved perspective. You may question your values, trust, identity, and future potential. This isn't instability manifesting. It's your internal framework upgrading autonomously because you've outgrown your previous foundation. Like a psychological earthquake, this process doesn't aim to destroy your foundation, but to deepen it. Old beliefs rarely dissolve quietly. They shake loose dramatically. Those seemingly impulsive or sudden thoughts often represent long-suppressed truths finally emerging. While immediate action isn't necessary, these insights deserve attention. They're illuminating previously invisible fault lines in your consciousness. Your mind isn't breaking down. It's breaking through. Your mind is undergoing a profound recalibration. It's creating space for an unprecedented level of insight that's still crystallizing. When this mental reconfiguration completes, you'll grasp a fundamental truth. You'd never actually lost your way. Instead, you've evolved into a version of yourself that can no longer be contained within previous boundaries. Some lunar phases merely illuminate the night sky. But moments like these carry a lingering resonance, subtly influencing your choices, responses, intuitive pulls, and life trajectories in ways that only become apparent with the passage of time. The upcoming 48-hour window transcends ordinary temporal boundaries. It holds heightened significance where seemingly minor decisions carry extraordinary impact, and quiet epiphanies carve permanent pathways in your life's journey. You might feel compelled to initiate change, conclude a chapter, voice long-held truths, or finally embrace a direction you've been contemplating. This isn't about pressure, it's about precision. There's a unique clarity that emerges when the universe signals you to act while the cosmic frequencies are at their peak. This isn't about hasty decisions, but rather acknowledging choices that have been patiently awaiting your recognition. It's not urgency you're feeling. It's alignment requesting your response. In the days ahead, dialogues will resonate more deeply, intuition will sharpen, and synchronicities will feel deliberately orchestrated. An encounter might prove more significant than initial appearances suggest. A decision made now could shape your next chapter more profoundly than anticipated. You might receive an unexpected sign, encounter a sudden opportunity, or experience an undeniable inner knowing. This isn't mere coincidence. It's momentum, and momentum carries forward. If you're still with me, I appreciate your attention. If this resonates, please consider subscribing for more content. Your support means everything. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Until we meet again, take care and stay connected for more enlightening insights.